Prosperity and abundance through the Most High Elohim. I am Mrs.Melanin Reigns, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be back with you all. So I have a quick message about the divine masculine. And when I say divine masculine, I'm not referring to a man who dibbles and dabbles in divination. It's not about crystals. It's not about meditation. It's not about any of these terms that we have come to associate with our divine purpose. It's really about being in tune with the Most High and becoming the best version of yourself. So one of the things that came to my mind in regards to the divine masculine is the fact that the divine masculine has already been striving on his path, and he is very much here. Like, a lot of time when the divine masculine is spoken upon, it's as if the divine masculine still has to become the divine masculine, or the divine masculine is still operating within his lower self, or whatever the case may be. And that's because we are associating spirituality with divine masculinity, and that's not necessarily the truth. That is not necessarily always in alignment. So what I mean by the divine masculine is already here is the divine masculine has already made a decision on their own. If they have met their counterpart, if they have met the woman who they are truly seeking to be their wife, yes, you would trigger the divine masculine to continue to search, continue to become better. You will be motivation for the divine masculine to strive upon his purpose and his path, but he would have already been on that line. He would already have been on that path, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. He's not someone that you have to teach. He's not someone who you have to pretty much baby into becoming the better version of himself. But you do inspire him if you are his counterpart, and if it is the a divine will for you two to be together. And so I really wanted to provide this clarity just because there's this uppity sense of like the divine feminine is ahead, or the divine feminine is first, or the divine feminine has to tell or baby the divine masculine into becoming who he is, or becoming the better version of himself. And that's simply not actually true. Now, like I said, we do a lot of times encourage and inspire the divine masculine to really align with that sense of authenticity, and I simply just cannot take the Most High out of it, because that is the difference between the higher vibrational relationships and the lower vibrational relationships. When it is anchored in the Most High, then there is a certain standard that you must adhere to. Okay, and it's bigger than just divine masculine, divine feminine. There is that divine will. There is that highest power that is truly at play. So there are certain things that, as a divine feminine or a divine masculine, that we learn that we must let go of, certain aspects of ourselves that we shed, because it is truly better for us, and not just us in the long run, but better for our generations to come. So for the divine masculine, when it comes to the path that he's striving upon, bigger than his path and his purpose is also about the legacy he is leaving and the children that he is birthing. It's bigger than just himself. And in regards to the divine feminine, it's not all about the divine feminine either. It's not just about him doing right by the divine feminine, but him doing right by the Most High. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Most High. That is something that I think a lot of people kind of write off, because they'll say they're not religious, but it has nothing to do with religion. It is not about the religious spirit. It is the truth. It is a law, a divine law. Okay, so it's bigger. Universal laws are just one aspect of laws. It's one aspect, and it's very much a physical aspect, because the universe is physical. There are laws that are above that, and there are laws that reign supreme to that. So when I say he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Most High, again, that is a divine law, meaning that when anything the divine masculine embarks upon prior to connecting with the divine feminine is different. When you connect with your divine feminine, she's not only a receiver, she is an expander. So anything that is given to her, she can multiply because that is her role as the feminine energy. Now, how that plays a part between the divine feminine and divine masculine is that when he brings something, when he embarks upon something through the divine feminine, it is not only received but expanded. And anything that the divine masculine was doing prior to multiplies. Anything that he is doing is now not only for himself, it's for his family, it's for his legacy. Okay, so the universe and beyond the universe, the Most High created us as divine feminine and divine masculine to interact, for you and I to verse, right? You and I verse in a way where there's always going to be an outcome. So when you have a high vibrational relationship between divine feminine and divine masculine, it becomes such an abundant and fruitful union that it not only blesses you, it blesses him, it blesses your surroundings, it blesses your family, your community, etc. So it's absolutely bigger, and it's way bigger than just the individual, and is way bigger than just romance. It is about breaking generational curses. It is about laying down foundation. It is about helping to assist the world in realizing what it is that is truly going on around us, because there's so much play, so many things that are get flooded out by entertainment and other things of that nature, that a lot of people are asleep to the reality of the realm that we're in and all of the things that are going on behind the scenes. So when you get a high vibrational relationship together, when you get a relationship together that is truly anchored in the Most High, it turns into something that is out of this world. It is not confounded to this confounded. It is not confined to this world. So when it comes to the divine masculine, just honoring the divine masculine, there needs to be an underlying respect for the masculine energy. There needs to be an underlying respect and reverence that is not rooted in misogyny, that is not rooted in that low vibrational representation of masculinity. Because even men, a lot of men think masculinity is something that it truly is not, and that is something that not only women are disrespectful of, it is also something that men are disrespectful of as well. So when it comes to honoring the divine masculine, remembering that that is the spark of the creation, regardless of whether people want to acknowledge it or not, it is the spark of creation. It's very important that the masculine energy brings to the feminine energy so that she may nurture, expand, okay, and nourish. It is a bond that is not to be broken, and it is very essential for all of us, okay, on different levels, no matter how it plays out. But those two things are very important components to our growth here as humanity. As we can see, there's a lot of dysfunction going on in society, and that is because there's just an underlying plan to really eliminate life. And I'm not just talking about birthing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about eliminating fruitful and abundant pathways for people to live and to thrive. There's a lot of confusion going on, and it's really important for divine feminine and divine masculine to truly find themselves and embark upon what it is truly that they were sent here to do. So just something in the main message and the main takeaway from this is honoring the divine masculine, not treating it as stupid, not treating it as less than, not treating it as toxic, not treating it as any of those things, because that is not divine masculine. That is the world's corrupt and perverse version of masculinity. However, that is not the truth of what masculinity is. And so that's something that needs to be respected and honored and given thanks for. I'm super grateful for the divine masculine. It's an energy when it inhabits, it's an energy that is truly protective. It is an energy that is truly liberating. It is an energy that really helps and assists in protection, provision. Beyond that, discernment, direction. All of those things are headed by the divine masculine, and they are very essential to success in all of our lives. It's not to be overlooked, it's not to be overshadowed, and it's not to be downplayed, because we are now, as feminine energies, realizing the sources of our strength. I see a lot of times where it seems like one has to be put down to big up the other, and that is absolutely destructive energy to be in. The divine masculine is worthy of being honored. The divine masculine is worthy of being acknowledged, rather. Let me not say honored per se, but definitely acknowledged, and we need to give thanks to the Most High for the creation as it was set out. Okay, so I hope that I can really get that across to people who are still stuck in that phase of thinking certain things are confined to religion. They're not confined to religion. The study of who we are, what we're here to do, the energies we inhabit is very deep. It's very deep, and it's not something that we are now all of a sudden realizing. No, these things, there's nothing new under the sun, and these things have been dissected way back when. So I hope that I got my message across. I feel like I was doing a lot of rambling, but I will go ahead and post this up, and if it helps anyone, I am super grateful for that.